Hi, I'm Melissa Laing. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be covering hip rolls. Okay, so hip rolls, you need to align yourself and get your heels aligned with your sit bones. You need to find a relatively soft but not too soft a surface to work on. You want some firmness to it so that you can feel if your pelvis is tilting back and forth. The thing you want to understand about this exercise is it's to bring your obliques in and to get some rotation in your lumbar spine. So you're starting to stretch out your quadratus and your lumbar muscles of your back. So you have your transverse abdominis, which is the deepest of the four abdominals, and it wraps like a corset around, attaching to the underneath surface of your rib cage and the top surface of your iliacus and your hips. So that muscle works in horizontal. So the fibers run horizontally. So to feel that muscle working, you're going to feel as if the muscles are pulling wide and flat between your hip bones and your waist is narrowing. And it will reflect like a table, okay? You don't want to be using your rectus, which tends to work through the core and will come up like a small bridge. If you can see that muscle working, you need to think deeper and you need to connect with your pelvic floor again, okay? These muscles tend to work together. Above those muscles are your internal obliques, which run upwards in their fibre direction, and then above them again is your external obliques, which run downwards. So essentially, it's the opposite oblique matching when you work this exercise. So the underneath oblique is working with the external oblique on this side and vice versa on the other. Bring your feet together to begin. Have your knees touching. Place your hands on your waist. You want to feel your thumb underneath your waist just here, so that when you breathe you can feel not only are you taking the air into the back of the head and into the back of the lungs and then into the stomach, but you can feel that you're blowing up this transverse abdominal in all directions like a balloon. And then at the height of the inhale, you're going to connect deeply with your pelvic floor muscles. So for men, you think of lifting. For women, you think of squeezing your pelvic floor muscles. And as you exhale, you surrender to the breath. So you completely let all the air out of your body and your tummy will deflate into tightness, okay? So the waist narrows and the abdominals are wide and flat. At about the end phases of your breath, you start to let your hips roll to one side, but you want to keep the right rib in this situation down on the bed, but letting the right hip lift, okay? What's happening is the obliques are getting this lovely stretch through here. Once the legs are over there and you've controlled them over there, you haven't flopped them or pushed them or forced them, they've just gently moved with your control. You're going to breathe in and open this whole side of your body. Let the tummy expand. Try not to let the rib cage lift up, just let it open across the bed. And now as you exhale again, you draw your waist in, connect with your pelvic floor, and what happens is the right external and the left internal act like hands, and you use the right one to pull the legs back, okay? It's much like hoisting a sail, okay? So you wait for the abdominals to connect before the legs move. It is not an exercise for the legs. It is an exercise to challenge the abdominals and their ability to return and return the neutral position. So each vertebra is coming back one after the other and aligning itself back into neutral position. And you're using the legs like a weight. So let's do that all together. So we're going to take a deep breath in, letting the stomach expand. Now we're going to connect with the pelvic floor. Exhale. Breathe in, opening up the back and the lumbar fascia. And exhale. About now I feel my abdominals kicking in. So now I use them and I try and relax my legs and let my abdominals do the work. Again, breathing in. Exhale, narrowing the waist. Keeping the upper body in line. Breathe in. And exhale. This exercise is particularly good for women that have had babies and have had a fair bit of separation, or any person that's found themselves to be slightly overweight, and as just like in pregnancy, the linea alba starts to separate and you can get a separation through the middle. It helps to knit the fascia fibers back, okay? It's almost a feeling, and the feeling of the exercise is almost like you're doing hand washing with your abdominals, so you're really wringing the air out. So make sure you can hear yourself breathe in deeply and you can hear yourself breathe out deeply, remembering that the abdominal muscles are secondary expiration muscles, so in order for them to work, you really want to make sure you've exhaled completely and inhale completely in order to again expand and allow the diaphragm to relax so that your psoas can relax and a whole lot of other muscle areas can just relax and you can get focused on what you're doing.